Craig, how you doing, pal?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Not so bad. I think it was only about 2 months ago I was speaking to you through one of these Zoom things when you were at Aberdeen, and you were sort of talking about how you were sort of determined to go and sort of prove all the doubters wrong and show that you play a big part up there. Can you just talk us through what sort of changed in the intervening period and how you found out yourself down in Perth?
It's just kind of a mutual agreement between me and the club to move on and kind of just get a fresh start and see if I can get a bit more luck elsewhere. Obviously, I had the ankle issue up there, and because I still had like a good bit of pain, that I was picking up like some wee niggles here and there by trying to get through it all the time and try to train and play all the time, like with a lot of pain in my ankle. So I think it just came to a stage where I don't know if like it was all the pandemic, cost cutting, etc., just came to an agreement that I'd move on and look for something else.
Were you disappointed with that? Would you like to stay at Aberdeen, or was this something you felt was best all round?
Of course, I'd like to stay. I enjoyed it up there, believe it or not. Even though, like the kind of year that I had, the lads were excellent, the manager and stuff were excellent with me, but it's just one of the things. It just never worked out. Sometimes in football that happens. It's not happened to me before in my career, apart from there, and you just got on with it and move on. That's it, really. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. It's just something for me in Aberdeen it never worked out, and I wish them all the best for the season, like they have done to me.
Is it still one of those things that burns you a wee bit? You were talking about the stick you were getting for sections of sport that they weren't, they weren't convinced, or they were just frustrated the fact that you weren't playing. But is that something that still you want to sort of prove that you've still got a big part to play?
100%. Like fans only see a Saturday. Like they only see in a game day. They don't see what you're going through Monday to Friday. They don't see what you're trying to do to get fit. They don't see how like much hard work you're putting in. But all the lads see that. The manager and stuff sees it. So it's one of them. Like I said earlier in the call to the other lads that were on, that I think it was St Johnstone that put it out that I played like nearly 570 games in my career. So it proves that I'm not injury prone. Yeah, I had a bad season at Aberdeen through an injury that I picked up when I was up there and just couldn't get it right. Just to start with, we didn't actually know what it was, and I was just trying to play with it. But in the end, I found out that was kind of making it worse. So it's one of them. I got injured, struggled to get back fit. The fans probably got frustrated that they were actually happy when I signed, believe it or not, and that kind of changes quickly. But yeah. Obviously, in football, you've got things to prove every single day in every game you play, and I'm no different. I want to come here now. I actually came up to Aberdeen from Derby to enjoy the last few years of my career, play with a smile on my face and stuff like that. So it's no different now. It never went that way. Now I want to do that at St Johnstone.
Well, this was a bit of a clean slate for you, but how are you injury-wise now? I mean, you've a couple of months on from the last spoke to you. Are you fully fit?
Yeah, ankle feels good. Had a couple of injections in it and stuff like that. Obviously, by the time I'd left Aberdeen, by the time I came here, it was like a couple of weeks. So, in terms of like running and conditioning my legs, I hadn't done much of that. So I've managed to build that up, and I'm getting to a stage now where in the next couple of weeks I should be fully fit.
Thanks, buddy.
Craig, it's Tyrone here. Just following on from what you were just saying there, I mean, do you feel that you are arriving at St Johnstone just generally with a real point to prove?
I've always played like my whole career with a point to prove. I think that's just something you do in football. I think people are always out there to put you down and have a go at you, and it's up to you to play well and bounce back and do what you can. Obviously, I've came here, there's probably a wee bit of apprehension about that. I've been injured for a year, so the gaffer showed a lot of faith in me and signing me and stuff, and knows what the problem is, knows what we need to do, and I just want to go out. I want to do well for him. I want to do well for St Johnstone, but ultimately, I don't want my career to end in the way Aberdeen ended, to be honest.
And obviously you're at St Johnstone now, but just summing up your time at Aberdeen, I mean, you were hailed as a marquee signing. It feels like an eternity ago. It didn't work out the way you wanted. How would you sum up, just if you could sum it up, your time at Pittodrie?
frustrating. Like, I came up, wanted to do well, wanted to play in all the games, wanted to play in Europe, wanted to play in semi-finals and finals and stuff, and thought going to Aberdeen, that would be the ideal place to do that in Scotland. And unfortunately for me, when I got back from the ankle injury that I picked up down south, when I signed for Aberdeen, I just was starting to feel good again, and then picked up an injury in my other ankle, which provided to be problematic.
Craig, you were obviously one of the guys that were involved with the high-profile COVID issue a couple of months ago up at the club there. I mean, looking back at that, how would you reflect on that whole episode?
Well, in the end, like, we were a wee bit naive to go out, obviously. But I'd rather not to say too much on it, mate, to be honest. We've apologised, we've took a battering off yourselves, the rest of the press. But yeah, you just want to draw a line under it and move on.
Just a final one from me. I mean, you're obviously bringing real experience to this St Johnstone team. There's a young lad at St Johnstone that's really made an impact, young Ali McCann, getting rave reviews. I presume, you know, you'll probably be quite excited to be playing alongside such a young prospect, but hopefully him being able to play alongside somebody with your experience can only be a good thing for him as well. So there's a kind of nurturing role you're going to have to play as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I've played against Ali a few times when I was at Aberdeen, and I always thought he was excellent. Seen him a couple of times and thought he's excellent, and he's got great potential to move on and to bigger and better things. But I think it would be good. He's actually got a really good mentor, Liam Craig, already next to him. Pass on his experience to him, and we've obviously got guys like Murray Davison, Craig Conway, and Witherspoon who've all got good experience. So I think now we've got a good balance of experience and youth in our team, and hopefully, like all the other young lads, you can pass on your knowledge to them and hopefully listen and take it on board. And it's always nice to see players do well in their career and go on to bigger and better things.
Brilliant. All the best.
Craig, hi. Nice to see you again. How you doing? Welcome to St Johnstone. No problem. You know the gaffer really well. You've touched on this already. You're a big part of his plans. You must be desperate just to get out there and get started.
Of course, mate. Of course, like I said earlier, the year you've had at Aberdeen, the amount of games you've missed, the amount of football you've missed. You come here, well, obviously then the pandemic hit, you've missed some more football, and it just kind of goes on and on. But now I'm here, I just want to get my head down, get focused, get fit, and play as many games as I can for St Johnstone this season, and hopefully help the lads to finish up as high as we possibly can in the table.
Yeah, are you kind of doubly driven on by there's maybe one or two doubters out there going, oh, has he still got it? But I mean, you know, you've obviously not become a bad player overnight. You've got vast experience. You've played at a very high level for a number of, you know, big clubs, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. I suppose like the people that are doubting you and the people that are giving you a bit of stick, it would be good to prove them wrong. I'd also love to get back fit, love to play every single game, and prove people wrong in that sense. But I'm not completely driven by that. I just want to play for myself and play as many games as I can before the time I have to hang up my boots. But obviously want to go and play well and pay something back to the gaffer for giving me a chance to come here.
You're obviously versatile. You can play in a number of different midfield positions. What do you feel you can add to St Johnstone in the middle of the park? Can you maybe add a wee missing ingredient that might be able to help the team go on that elusive, consistent run of wins?
Hopefully I can add a bit of everything, to be honest. Obviously right now we're struggling a wee bit for goals, so fingers crossed this season I can chip in with a few of them, hopefully a couple of assists, but just hopefully like try and make us a better team all round, like what the gaffers try to do, what all the experienced lads are doing, and hopefully we come together as a team and just become a better team. Yeah,
well, we've all seen the Saints have played some very good football this season. They haven't had that consistency of results. So the gaffer has said, you know, he would settle for an ugly 1-0 win tomorrow. I take it you would absolutely concur with that.
100%. You just kind of want to stop the kind of run you're on, and we'll take any sort of win, we'll take any sort of goals it stands, and then hopefully we can build on that and move on, and hopefully it can stand us in good stead for the rest of the season.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, can I just ask, are you fit for the weekend? Are you home to play a part this weekend against Livingston?
Yeah, I've not completely spoken to the gaffer yet. The decision will be left back down to him. But yeah, I'm nearing full fitness and ready to go, and we'll see what happens for tomorrow and the weeks coming up.
Perfect. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Thanks, guys.
Lovely.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers.
All the
Peace
best.
after.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye-bye.